Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Norton and Mabel. And it is Friday morning. And we're hoping that you're having a great start to your day. And this is part of your morning message. So I thought Mabel just kind of wanted to join me for our read aloud this morning. And I hope that you do your morning message and tell me about how you're feeling, what your mood is, what your morning exercise is, and what else? What the weather is like this morning. And then you can always, leave me a little message or something you want to share, or maybe a question you have for me. Or you can just fill out the morning message. That's okay too. All right, Mabel, are you ready for a story today? All right, sorry for the little washing machine sound in the background, but life goes on. It has to occur. All right, so just, ignore. All right, so last week we were reading Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. And do you remember I left a little bookmark? We read the first 2 chapters. So this one's called A Lost Button. All right, you guys ready? Mabel, are you ready? Yeah, she's ready for a story too. Okay, I'm gonna move her so that she can see the book. There she goes. She's watching too, everybody. Okay, A Lost Button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large meadow. They walked in the woods. They walked along the river. At last, they went back to Toad's house. "Oh, drat," said Toad. No, they did. Do my feet hurt? But I've lost a button on my jacket. So talk about a problem. All right, we've been talking about writing about problems in the world and problems that you may have. This is his problem. "Don't worry," said Frog. "We will go back to all the places where we walked. We will soon find a button." Do you think they're going to find the button? Make a prediction. Yes, they're going to find the button, or no, they're not going to find the button. I would think it would be really hard to find the button with, I don't know, all the plants and leaves and stuff on the ground. So I think that would be kind of hard. But I predict, I don't know. I guess I predict that they will. They're good at finding things. They walked back to the large meadow. Then they began to look for the button in the tall grass. "Here is your button!" "Oh, Mabel, they did find it," said Toad. "That is not my button. That button is black. My button is white." Toad put the black button in his pocket. So they found one button, but it wasn't his button. A sparrow flew down. "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button? I found one." "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button has 2 holes. My button has 4 holes." Toad put the button with 2 holes in his pocket. They went back to the woods and looked on the dark paths. "Here is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," cried Toad. "That button is small. My button was big." Toad put the small button in his pocket. Can you believe all these buttons that they're finding on their path? Where are they all coming from? A raccoon came out from behind a tree. "I heard that you were looking for a button," he said. "Here's one that I just found." "That is not my button," wailed Toad. "That button is square. My button is round." Toad put the square button in his pocket. See how he put it in his pocket? Frog and Toad went back to the river. They looked for the button in the mud. "Here is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," shouted Toad. "That button is thin. My button was thick." Here they are. Toad put the thin button in his pocket. He was very angry. He jumped up and down and screamed, "The whole world is covered with buttons, and none of them is Are you wondering what I'm wondering? Toad, is this a big problem or is this a small problem? I can see you're feeling big feelings right now. We always have to ask ourselves, is this a big problem or a small problem? And then our reactions should match if it's small or big, right? We talked about that in class. Toad ran home and slammed the door. There on the floor, he saw his white, four-holed, big, round, thick button. Oh, said Toad. It was here all the time. What a lot of trouble I made for Frog. How's he feeling right now? Yeah, he's feeling kind of bad that he caused all that trouble and they were looking for it. What do you think he's going to do now? He's got that thinking face, doesn't he? With his, his hand here. Sometimes we have our fingers here, and that means that we're thinking, right? Make a prediction. What do you think he's thinking about? Is he going to try to make it up to Frog? Is he going to rush over and tell Frog the good news about the button? All right, do you have your prediction? All right, let's read to find out. Toad took all the buttons out of his pocket. He took his sewing box down from the shelf. Toad sewed the buttons all over his jacket. So there are all the buttons on the table. Now he's sewing them on. He's pretty talented if he knows how to sew. Do you guys know how to sew? The next day, Toad gave his jacket to Frog. That was nice. What a kind gesture. Frog thought it was beautiful. He put it on and jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Toad had sewed them on very well. Wasn't that kind, Mabel? I know. And look, he's made it Frog so happy. All right, so there's the new chapter. So how did he make up for, making such a fuss with Frog? I gave him a gift. Tried to bring him some joy, even though he brought him some frustration by looking for it, right? That was a very kind way of handling that situation, don't you think? All right, here's our next chapter. Let me make sure, just checking. Okay, I'm going to do one more. It's called A Swim. Toad and Frog went down to the river. What a day for a swim, said Frog. Yes, said Toad. I will go behind those rocks and put on my bathing suit. I don't wear a bathing suit, said Frog. Well, I do, said Toad. After I put on my bathing suit, you must not look at me until I get into the water. What's his bathing suit? Are you wondering what I'm wondering? Let's read to find out. Why not? Asked Frog. Because I look so funny in my bathing suit. That is why, said Toad. Frog closed his eyes when Toad came out from behind the rocks. Toad was wearing his bathing suit. Don't peek, he said. Frog and Toad jumped into the water. They swam all afternoon. Frog swam fast and made big splashes. Toad swam slowly and made smaller splashes. So there he is, not peeking. And there they are, big splashes and small splashes. A turtle came along the riverbank. Frog, tell that turtle to go away, said Toad. I do not want him to see me in my bathing suit when I come out of the river. Frog swam over to the turtle. Turtle, said Frog, you have to go away. Why should I? Asked the turtle. Because Toad thinks that he looks funny in his bathing suit, and he does not want you to see him, said Frog. What do you think, Mabel? It's a funny story, huh? So far, a funny chapter? Some lizards were sitting nearby. Does Toad really look funny in his bathing suit? They asked. A snake crawled out of the grass. If Toad looks funny in his bathing suit, said the snake, then I, for one, want to see him. We want to see him too, said the dragonflies. So there are the lizards, and here's the snake. Here are the dragonflies, and who's next? The little mouse. Me too, said the little field mouse. I have not seen anything funny in a long time. Do you think it's going to be funny, Mabel? I don't know. We'll see. Frog swam back to Toad. I'm sorry, Toad, he said. Everyone wants to see what you will look like. Then I will stay right here until they go away, said Toad. The turtle and the lizards and the snake and the dragonflies and the field mouse all sat by the riverbank. They waited for Toad to come out of the water. Please, cried Frog. Please go away. But no one went away. Toad was getting colder and colder. He was beginning to shiver and sneeze. I will have to come out of the water, said Toad. I am catching a cold. Look at them all watching. Is that very kind? Mabel, it seems kind of mean. It seems like they're waiting to, I don't know, find something wrong, and they're just waiting for him to be silly. Is that kind? I don't think so. But Frog's trying to get them to go away, right? So he's being a kind friend. Toad climbed out of the river. The water dripped off his bathing suit down onto his feet. The turtle laughed. The lizards laughed. The snake laughed. The field mouse laughed. And Frog laughed. His best friend Frog? Can you believe it, boys and girls? I can't believe it. Mabel, that seems so mean to have a best friend do that. What are you laughing at, Frog? Said Toad. I'm laughing at you, Toad, said Frog, because you do look funny in that bathing suit. Of course I do, said Toad. Then he picked up his clothes and he went home. That was kind of a silly story. He was so worried about it. But then he was like, of course I am. But I guess he had said it the whole time through. All right, I'm going to move my bookmark, and we will read the letter next time. The letter. I like this one. All right, Mabel, thank you for joining us for our story time today. And have a great Friday. It's time to start your work today. I have a video for persuasive writing and to show some samples of work. And I'm going to talk to you. Oh, you're going to have a Flipgrid today to do. You're going to read your best persuasive writing piece into Flipgrid, just like we did with our how-to stories. And then I'd love you to comment on 3 people's persuasive stories, please. Tell them what you thought about their writing. And I think your writing has been amazing. I'm just so proud of all the growth you've made, boys and girls. You've stated a problem or what you wanted. You gave me 2 to 3 ideas of why you could solve that problem or why you want that thing. Then you use a polite sentence. Please, may I have this? Or please, will you stop putting plastic in the ocean? And some of you even use all uppercase letters to show, just like we did in the how-to unit, to show how strong feelings, right? And that was a really great use of thinking about the how-to unit, what you learned there, and using it in this unit of persuasive writing. So I'm really proud of your work, boys and girls. You guys have become such wonderful writers. I'm very proud of you. So have a great Friday and good luck with your work today. Bye.